How can we be kind to our baby? It's a nothing. It was a sperm and an egg just a few days ago, and now it's a being. That's amazing, isn't it? Part of you and part of your partner, or if this was IVF, part of that other man is this child. Whatever your attitudes are about miscarriages and terminations, this is not the topic of this course, okay? We are focusing on kindness to the child. There are reasons why babies don't go to term, whether it's a miscarriage or an abortion. But we can still have a kindness to this child, and that's important because all life exists, and if we are kind to anything in life, it's always better. You know, every time we used to chop down a tree, that tree's living. So if we thank it for giving us shelter or fuel, then we feel better, and it's something that we are doing in this greater creation of life. So during this first 12 weeks, if we are kind to our baby as it's growing, and kind to its baby's mother, as we talked about, then that's a good place to be. So sometimes we have bad thoughts, not once a day, sometimes 100 times a day. The one thing that we've learned in all of this is honor the negative voice. It just rattles on. But that doesn't mean we can't manage how we both behave and talk. So for instance, if internally you're talking to this baby, I didn't want to get pregnant, I don't want you, I have 6 kids at home, this is a burden, nobody else may know you're saying it, and you may have trouble admitting that you're saying it. But if you acknowledge that to the child and say to the child, you will have negative thoughts in your life, but we want to act in a positive way. And in this situation, we want to act in a kind way. I don't have kind thoughts at the moment, but I am going to honor that I do not have kind thoughts. But I'm not going to necessarily act out on those unkind thoughts. You just do have unkind thoughts. We do all our lives. I'm 73. I still have unkind thoughts. The fact is when we are in this process, during this first 12 weeks, when we can feel the most unsettled, and if you're a woman who has severe morning sickness, you know how unsettled you can be. But even walking around feeling queasy all the time, I had moderate queasiness. I didn't really get sick a lot, but certain odors, oh my God, you know, movement, oops, you know. Now, there are some wonderful homeopathic remedies and herbs and acupuncture that you can use, as well as some medical prescriptions. So if you feel really poorly, then go ahead and try to help yourself. That's an act of kindness, and it's an act of kindness to your baby as well. During this period of time, I guess our bottom line to you about being kind to your baby is if you have negative thoughts about your baby, just tell your baby that's part of life. But what we're going to try to do is just to keep going and work through them. The worst thing you can do is try to suppress those negative thoughts, because you can't. They're there, and your baby does know them. Doesn't know them mentally. He knows them in the same way that if you are in the room with somebody who is feeling unhappy, even though they're not crying or showing anything, we have a sense of each other, and your baby has a sense of you. So that's how you become kind to your baby in these first 12 weeks from conception to 12 weeks of pregnancy.